Okay, so today is a bit of a weird one. We'll be having Mega Man X, or just X, versus the Monsterverse version of Godzilla. We'll start off with Mega Man, as most people probably know more about Monsterverse Godzilla, at least people that watch my channel. To put it pretty simply, the guy scales just outright above people who can destroy a star. So he's pretty casually in the star level category of power. But it gets even higher as there's characters that are outright solar system level, according to stuff like black holes and other shit within the games that get to that level. X is obviously one of the strongest characters in the game, so he's going to be above that category. Stuff like the Verse Wiki agrees with this, and from what I know of him, he should be on that level as well, plus all the research I just did prior to this video. When it comes to speed, he is faster than Monsterverse Godzilla, to put it bluntly. He scales to characters who can travel interstellar distances pretty damn quick, putting him at least massively faster in light to an undefined amount. When it comes to his abilities, he has all sorts of shit, like way too much for me to actually put in the video, but he has the standard plasma / light-based weaponry of the Mega Man characters, as well as ice, wind, water, fire that's supposedly hotter in the Earth's core. Some other stuff has it hotter than the surface of the sun, etc. He has some soul-based shit. He has some Street Fighter moves for some reason. He has a ton of stuff. There's way too much for me to actually put in here. There's also black holes, the Mother Elf, which I don't think is going to be too useful here. There's also his X Factor, which basically allows him to come back after shit that should have realistically killed him, which is going to be very useful in a fight against somebody as powerful as Monsterverse Godzilla. As for intelligence, he's smart, but he's not like superhumanly intelligent, at least not usually. So he's smarter than Godzilla, but not like so much smarter. He's just outsmarting him every 3 seconds. His durability should realistically scale to his attack potency and destructive capacity. So he should be capable of withstanding the attacks he's able to dish out, so he's at the solar system levels of durability as well. That's a pretty vague rundown of what he can do, but I've never actually played the games, and most of what I know from him comes from the research I did for this video, so I can't really go too far into the feats that he has for this. But I do know you can get him much higher than this with some other stuff, so just keep that in mind. This just seems to be the most consistent scaling I could find for him in what I've done to research for this video. As for Monsterverse Godzilla, from on-screen feats prior to his evolved form, he was capable of pretty casual planet level, well, not really casual, but pretty decent planetary feats to star level stuff. In Thermo, you can honestly get him to around solar system, however that is kind of pushing it. Evolved should be around the solar system level though. Now, there are direct statements that compare the Hollow Earth to a supermassive black hole and potentially even above one. And Monsterverse Godzilla is supposed to be stronger than that prior to being evolved, or even in its thermo state. These are majorly inconsistent, but if you use those, you can push his scaling all the way up to galaxy level and potentially higher. But I do personally find those incredibly inconsistent, and remember, X can get pretty damn high too if you want to hype his stuff up as well. After this, his speed, from what we see in film, he should be at least comparable to Kong, who's faster in light and reaction time. His standard speed somewhere between 400 to 600 to over 1,000 miles per hour when running, but his reaction speed's FTL, not quite massively faster in light, so he's definitely at a speed disadvantage here in both travel and reaction. When it comes to his abilities, he has the standard atomic breath. He can perform a EMP and nuclear pulse. We haven't really seen him do a straight up pulse in base. We've only seen it with 2 supercharged forms, but he should be capable of doing it. He can amp his power by supercharging himself while in his evolved state, which he will be in for this. And when he's in evolved, he can store 20 times the energy he had in Godzilla vs. Kong. And he's at least 2 times stronger in base, potentially even stronger than 2 times. So he's very powerful and has tons of stamina. I also forgot to mention, X basically has infinite energy, so infinite stamina basically. When it comes to experience, he is way more experienced than X. Although X is pretty old by the later games in that Mega Man X series, he's He's only like, I think, 200-ish years old, whereas Godzilla's a couple million. So obviously Godzilla has the experience in battle IQ probably as well. You could argue since Godzilla's not quite as intelligent, he shouldn't get battle IQ. I'm going to have to give him battle IQ for this just due to the massive experience gap. Now that was a quick rundown of both characters, how do I actually see this fight going? To put it bluntly, I don't think Godzilla can touch Mega Man X. I don't think he's even landing a hit, really. If he could land a hit, he could potentially harm X by, like, pretty decently. But due to having worse stamina and worse speed, I don't see him really getting that good hit in quick enough for X just to not put a black hole in his face and kill him instantly. And before you say black hole shouldn't realistically kill him instantly, Godzilla has no real defense against that, or at least this version of Godzilla doesn't. And let's face it, a solar system level black hole is probably killing a non-super highballed Monsterverse Godzilla. And even a hyper highballed Monsterverse Godzilla at galaxy level still doesn't have that speed advantage and will probably tire himself down. And as we know, the less radiation he has, the weaker he becomes. So even with the higher scaling for Monsterverse Godzilla, and with completely ignoring some of the higher stuff that you can get for X that can get him way above Godzilla, like to an even higher degree, X still probably wins. This is without even factoring in the X factor, which essentially gives X another life or potentially multiple lives to stack on top of beating the shit out of Godzilla. And for physical strength, there's heavy implications that he can basically match his own destructive power with physical strength at points, so he could probably lift Godzilla as well. There's also showings in game of him having pretty damn impressive physical strength that can rival that of Monsterverse Godzilla, and potentially even surpass him. So yeah, I think X wins this pretty easily. This was a battle given to me by a request through comments. At first I saw it as pretty fair, but after looking at some of the speed and actual feats for the Mega Man X series, it became pretty apparent that Monsterverse Godzilla was getting wiped pretty bad. But if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe. And if you guys want to see more Mega Man style scaling content, I could easily do it. I am becoming more familiar with the franchise as I'm starting to play some of the games. So if you want to see that, I guess comment below some matchups for it, or potentially any matchups you really want to see, and I'll see if I can do them. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Bye.